to Living to Amazing Life podcast with yours truly, Tim Harrell, Coach Tim Harrell, your motivational leadership expert, as well as your business accelerator. I'm so glad you joined me this morning on April the 29th, this great Monday morning, looking to get our week started. My God, I know there's some exciting things going to happen for me this week, as well as for you. So you got to have this mindset of expectation. You know, I learned a long time ago that you got to have contentment with expectation. Yes, I'm contented in what God has done in my life thus far, but I have expectation. So I have contentment with expectation. My God, I don't know who I'm talking to on this morning. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great week, Grab your coffee, your breakfast juice, man. I have my coffee. Matter of fact, I got a Aruba cup. Anybody ever been to Aruba? My God, you got to go to Aruba. So grab your coffee, your breakfast juice, your breakfast. Grab a pad and a pen so you can take some notes, because I want to help you succeed in your life on this week. That is what the amazing life is all about. Helping others succeed. So make sure that you share the podcast with your family and friends. Make sure you do that. Make sure that you let them know how blessed this podcast has been to you. And if they don't subscribe to it, then they're going to lose out. They're going to lose 50% of their success in life if they don't subscribe to this podcast. So get them to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can get any videos that are uploaded to this YouTube channel. I want to make sure that we stay connected. I want to make sure that I'm adding value to your life every opportunity that I get. And you know that this particular podcast focus on personal growth, leadership, and business. And we're in our season for personal growth. I just want to share some stuff with you today about who Tim Harrell is all about, where I come from, if you don't mind. I just want to be transparent with you today, if that's okay. So guys, you know that I've been through a lot in my life. But I want to ask you a question before we get started. Have you ever decided to do something not knowing what to expect or what the outcome would be? Okay. Can I read that again for you? And I hope that it's on the screen so you can read it for yourself. Have you ever decided to do something not knowing what to expect or what the outcome would be? All right. And I this is such an important question, Guys, you heard me share in my promo, when I first started the podcast, I had a promo that was running, introducing the podcast and letting you know that it was coming. And I talked about how I moved from a janitor to owning my own multi-million-dollar janitorial company. Y'all remember that? You remember that? My God, I'm almost getting tongue-tied, y'all, because I'm so excited and sometimes in disbelief of what God has done in my life. I remember back in 1993, I had just been delivered from a 5-year crack cocaine addiction. I was 2 years clean. I had spent 3 months incarcerated for some crimes that I committed because of my addiction. In 1991, I was discharged from the military because of my addiction with a bad conduct discharge, you see. And so, my life at that particular time, you was a crackhead, you had a felony on your record, and you were discharged out of the military. Man, boy, your life is over. That's what the devil tried to tell me, that my life was over, that I could not be successful in life, that I could not be all that I desired to be before I got into this addiction that I dealt with. And that pretty much that I couldn't be the success that I desired to be because of this dark cloud of my past hanging over my life. And so in 1993, I heard about a company. It was a janitorial company expanding from Richmond to the Hampton Roads area. And that they were looking for managers and supervisors. And I said, okay, man, I always wanted to be a white collar worker. I always wanted to wear a shirt and tie and suit to work. I felt as though God had called me to be a leader. I knew that I had managerial and supervisory skills. And so I'm going to pursue this. But then the external voice of my past began to talk to me and say, okay, you've been kicked out of the Navy, right? So you got a bad conduct discharge on your record. You got a felony on your record, right? And you used to be a crackhead. So, wow, I'm thinking about these three things. And I said, they're not going to hire me. The internal voice was saying, they're not going to hire you. You're not qualified. Your past says that you're not qualified. Man, but there was something inside of me that a voice, which I call the God voice, is the inner voice, said, get up. Because I called already and set up an interview with the vice president, the executive vice president of the company. But that morning, I was wrestling within myself because of my past and the things that I had on my record. And but there was a voice inside of me to say, get up and go. I'm almost reminded, I was reminded of what God said to Abram in Genesis chapter 12. Go, leave your kinfolk and go, and I'll show you where I will lead you. And so that inner voice said, go, put your clothes on, dress to impress. I put on a shirt and a tie. If you want to be a manager, if you want to be a boss, you want to be a leader, you got to look like one. So I grabbed the empty briefcase because I wanted to walk into that interview like I was somebody, because I believe that I was somebody. My past told me that I wasn't anybody. But at that moment, that season in my life, I believed that I was somebody. And I grabbed that suitcase. I put on my shirt and tie and sports coat, and I got in my car. And before I got in my car, watch this now. The voice said, take some work clothes in case they want you to work today, in case they, put you to work today, because I believed that I was going to get hired. So in case they want you to start today, put your work clothes in your car. So I put some work clothes in my car, just in case I needed help with any type of cleaning. It didn't even matter. I just put some work clothes in my car, got in my car, drove to that interview, sat down before that executive vice president, and I began to share my life in confidence. I began to, not in confidence, with confidence. I began to share my life. And I told the executive vice president, hey, I struggled for 5 years in a crack cocaine addiction. Because of my crack cocaine addiction, I was discharged out of the Navy with a bad conduct discharge, and I spent 3 years in jail because of my addiction. And I said, but my life has been turned around because Christ came into my life and he delivered me from that habit. And he restored me to a place that he desired me to be. And this place is the road to success. I believe that. And he just gave me a new mindset on life, a new perspective on life. And I even quoted the scripture to the executive vice president. I said, he gave me a scripture in Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. So I shared my story with him. I shared my story and I told him what an asset I could be to his company. And he said, well, I don't have any management positions. I don't have any supervisory positions. We already put some people in place. We brought a manager from Richmond, Virginia to run the area. And so I don't have any management positions. And I said, okay, what do you have? And he said, I have a floor tech job. Okay, I know how to do floors. I consider myself one of the best floor techs in Hampton Roads. And I said, okay, all right, I'll take that. And he said, okay, well, we're here doing some cleaning and getting ready to get this contract, this first contract in the Hampton Roads area. We're working and ready to get this contract underway. And I said, okay, do you need some help? He said, well, yeah, we do, but you're not dressed to help. I said, I'll be right back. I went in my car and got those work clothes. Remember? And I put those work clothes on and I went to work right then and there before I even filled out an application. I went to work, right? So he gave me the floor tech job. I was stripping and waxing floors, marble floors, beautiful floors, in a building downtown Norfolk, and it was 11 floors I was responsible for. And so what I decided to do is I decided to make a schedule, a color-coded schedule on what will be done each night on each floor. And so I took this schedule and I taped it to the janitorial closet door, and the vice president was walking around. He saw the schedule and he came up to me. He asked me, he said, did your supervisor do the schedule? I said, no, sir, I did the schedule myself. He was totally impressed. Listen to me, guys. This one piece of paper changed the course of my life as when it comes to success in business. This one piece of paper, one little piece of paper changed the course of my life in relation to the business that I will pursue. You want to make sure that who you are fits your business, because your business becomes who you are. And so you want to make sure that you understand who you are, your mission, your vision, and your purpose for your personal life. So my mission in life, I believe that God created me, God put me on this earth to help others succeed in life. That is my mission. That is what I do every day. My mission is to help people succeed in life. And so you have to come up with your mission. You have to come up with your vision for your personal life. You have to come up with your purpose. Should help you kind of find what type of business you like to be in. It's very important that you take your time and do that assessment and make sure that you're in the right place. A lot of people get into business because your friend is in a business and he or she is making a lot of money, and then you say, oh my God, I'm gonna get in that business too, right? You jump in that business, you don't like that business, but you paid all the startup costs to get into business, you did all this stuff to get incorporated, you got all your marketing stuff, you spent all this money to get started, and you don't even like the business. But you gotta understand your tax codes, your tax laws. That is so important. And I think sometimes when people go into business, that's the last thing they learn. And if it's the last thing you learn, it's going to cost you. When he saw that, he was so impressed that he said, hey, Tim, I have a position coming. We just acquired a new contract. It was the old USAA building. I don't know if you guys remember the USAA building when they first moved on Northampton Boulevard in Norfolk, Virginia. Huge building, 350,000 square foot building, right? He said, I need a project manager for that site. He said, you will have 8 full-time people during the day, and you will have 32 part-time people at night. He said, I want to give you this position. I was like, wow, I take it. So it moved me from being hourly to salary with benefits. I had over, and this happened within a 3-week time span. I was only the floor tech for 3 weeks and got promoted to a project manager. I went on that site, man. I worked that site, man. The customer customer contact there on that site loved what we were doing. Man, I managed that building. I supervised that building. I made sure that the morale among our employees were at its highest peak. The building, the contract was just going great. Even when the president from our company would come down and visit the site, our customer was saying, "Hey, Tim is doing a superb job. We love him. He's doing a great job." And so I ran that site for a period of time, and then they approached me again and say, "Tim, you're doing such a great job. We want to promote you to area manager. So we want you to have multi-sites, not just one site as a project manager, but we want you to have multi-sites." I said, "I take it," right? And so I worked that area manager job. Our area, the new area, grew. It started growing. We started picking up more and more contracts to the point that the area grew from an area to a region. So now they need a regional manager. Guess who is the new regional manager? Yours truly. They offered me the regional manager's position. Now I'm a regional manager and I have area managers working under me. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to celebrate with the brother. Yeah, I got area managers working under me. Ran that area so well. Come on, guys. It's not the end of the story. This is not the end of the story. Ran that region so well, making the company so much money that they approached me and said, "Tim, we need you to do this for our entire company. We want to promote you to vice president of operations for the entire company." So that means that I had 2 regional managers working under me. And they had, multi-area managers working under them and supervisors, where we had I was responsible for about 700 employees. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to celebrate with the brother, right? And this from 1993 to 1996, 3 years, this happened. A guy who was kicked out of the Navy because of his addiction, suffered with a 5-year crack cocaine addiction, incarcerated for 3 months because of his addiction. Come on. You got to look at your life and tell you, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what your past have said. It's not over for you. As long as you have breath in your body, it's not over for you. It's not over. In 1993, it was not over for me. It was just the beginning. Oh, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning for you. Because your past cannot dictate your future. Your past is just a reminder where you come from. Your past is just a motivation for you to pursue your future, to pursue your dreams, to pursue your passions. That's all your past is for. Your past is not to hold you hostage or put handcuffs on you. No, your past is a motivator. It's a motivator. That's why I don't mind telling my story. Because I know, the songwriter said, when I look back over my life, I see that I got a testimony of the goodness of the Lord. But there are some things I had to do. There's some things that I had to do. I had to listen to that voice inside of me. I had to follow my instincts. That's the number one thing I did. I had to listen to that voice when that voice told me to get up and go. And number 2, I had to take some risks. I had to share my story. That was a risk for me to tell someone that I was incarcerated, that I had a 5-year crack cocaine addiction, that I was kicked out of the military because of my addiction. That was a risk. So I had to take a risk. But in the midst of all of that, I had to discern the outcome. I had to trust God. And I had to say to myself, if you just be honest with this man in the interview, I believe that everything will work out for your favor. So I had to discern the outcome. And that is what happened to me in 1993. I moved from a janitor to owning my own multi-million-dollar janitorial company. Because in this company, I learned everything that I needed to learn about running a business. The president of the company took me under his wing, showed me everything about running a successful business. Wow. I did not go to college and get a business degree. I learned from, hands-on, because I was willing to follow my instinct, take a risk, and discern the outcome. I don't know who I'm helping today, but I pray that I help someone with this story, that you may be faced with something that you want to pursue, you have a desire to do, but because of your past, because of some things that you've done, is dictating to you that you're unqualified for. I'm here to tell you, to encourage you, that you are not unqualified. You're not disqualified. You just need to follow your instinct and take a risk and discern the outcome. And I believe that what you are trying to pursue will come to pass, will manifest in your life. Oh my God, man. Oh, I'm so excited for you today, because this is some of y'all need to do that this week. You need to do that this week. Pursue your dreams. Go after your passions. Go, do it. Don't be afraid. Don't let anybody, not even your past, dictate to you that you cannot do it. Woo, that was good, y'all. That was good. And if you need help, I'm here to help you, to encourage you, to motivate you. Sometimes you just need somebody to come along beside you and push you. You need that push. You need somebody to put their hand in your back and push you. I'm that person that will put their hand in your back and push you. And what I want to offer you is a free 60-minute coaching session with me. All you got to do is scan the QR code, hit the link in the post, and you can get this free 60-minute coaching session with me where I will, even in the 60 minutes, one-time coaching session, I will push you. I'll put my hand in your back and I will push you. Are you feeling me this morning? Come on now. Come on. Let's connect. You can connect with me on social media. You can just reach out to me in Facebook inbox if you want to connect. I would love to connect with you, because my mission in life is to help you succeed in every area of your life. And I'm so excited to do that. So again, I thank you guys for allowing me to share my story with you on today. We're here every Monday at 8 a.m. We drop a episode of our podcast, Living the Amazing Life podcast. And I pray that you're being blessed by this. Make sure you reach out and let me know that you're being blessed by this podcast. And as always, you know what time it is. It's time for you to live your amazing life. I'll see you next week. God bless you.